everyone from Kent is watching this. With the good comes the bad. Traffic is crazy. Hello YouTube family, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video. In today's video I will be discussing 10 reasons why you shouldn't move to Kent. Yes, with the good comes the bad. I've done a few videos on my channel about Kent, reasons you should move to Kent. Watch this video before moving to Kent, and they do so well on my channel, and I'm sure it's because it's actually helpful content. So I wanted to create videos around that to help people who are looking to move, looking to relocate, looking to buy, looking to rent. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jennifer Is On, and on my channel you're gonna get everything: a bit of fashion, a bit of beauty, a bit of lifestyle, motherhood, perfume, makeup, hauls, everything. So if you want a well-rounded channel, please subscribe. So the first reason is traffic congestion. Kent is so congested when it comes to traffic, especially in the busy roads and areas. One road that I completely hate, or is it a road? Or is it like a dual carriage? Is the A2. The A2 is so heavily congested, especially between 7 to 9 and 5 until 7. Usually are the peak times of when people are traveling into work or coming back from work or dropping the kids to school. It's just so busy. So if you're someone that relies on car travel and you have to drive into work, or you just like to drive around all the time, maybe living in Kent isn't for you, especially if you are driving into London to work. I remember always being stuck on the A2. It's awful. I've said this in previous videos that the transport links in and around Kent is really good, especially when it comes to train travel. Not so much buses, but train travel is actually really good around Kent. Now with inflation, so much things have gone up, especially train travel, petrol, everything's just gone up. So either way is expensive. Obviously driving into work is more convenient. You're not on the smelly train and you can listen to music and you're comfortable. The second reason why you may not want to move to Kent is the lack of job opportunities. I think I've mentioned this in previous videos, but there isn't a lot of jobs around Kent, and the jobs that you will find around here are heavily like retail based. You've got industrial site like jobs, warehouse jobs, and you find a few construction companies here and there, but it's not like London. Luckily enough, you find a job that you love, it's likely not going to pay you the way a job in London will. A lot of jobs are now hybrid, which means you have some days in the office, you have some days at home, and that gives people a nice like work-life balance. You may only need to do the commute 1 or 2 days a week depending on your company. The lack of job opportunities, yes, it is a negative, but I think with how things are now, it doesn't really matter. And some jobs are actually 100% remote. So you could be working for a company in London while you're at home in a lovely house or flat in Kent. The third reason of why you may not want to move to Kent is the lack of cultural attractions. Like certain cities, like even like Barcelona, London, they've got like stadiums, they've got museums, the Big Ben, the London Eye. They've got really memorable and world-renowned cultural attractions. People from different countries come to visit what London and all these different cities are known for, and Kent does not have any of that. I mean, you do have your castles and you have your museums and you've got things like that, but they're not well known. That is maybe a downfall for someone who is looking for all of that, maybe like a younger couple who really want to like lay roots in Kent and want to like take maybe their children out and stuff like that. You are very limited, I would say. And there was a point in time where they were about to build, actually they were starting to build a Euro Disney park in Swanscombe, I think, which is near Dartford, and it was all in the works and it was delayed because of Coviana. And now I read that they've actually like given it to administrators, which means it's no longer going to happen. Someone else has to come and bid for it, and they're thinking of using that site now for scientific purposes, and they found like an endangered spider and all this stuff around it. That would have been an amazing opportunity. It would have increased house prices, it would have been an amazing attraction, and it would have made Kent really well known on the map internationally if that park actually was built. And I was really excited for that park because I knew that if that park was built, then where I live now would have gone up tremendously. I'm not too sure whether they've completely scrapped the idea of building that Euro Disney park. Hopefully not, because it would have generated so much jobs, so much people. It would have been amazing. That is on hold for now. Reason number 4 is the limited nightlife. There's no raving here. There's no raving, there's no turn up, there's no nothing here. I'm a South London girl. There's always a motive, there's always a party, a house party, an event. I'm not sure if it's my age. Maybe I'm not aware of these functions, but the nightlife in Kent is so dry. A lot of young people, a lot of the youth actually go into London to have a good time. I've actually been out on a Saturday night in Kent with my husband, and we've just been walking around and we're like, this is so sad. I mean, you do have your pubs, your Wetherspoons, if that's what you like. You may have little clubs here and there, but it's not like London. There's always something to do. There's always an amazing event. There's always a comedy show. There's always something. There's always a concert, and you just don't get that in Kent. So if that is like something that you love doing, and you love going out at night, and you like to party, you like to turn up, you like all of that stuff, then maybe Kent isn't for you. But if you have a car, don't drink and drive. But if you're not someone that drinks, like me, I don't drink, so I don't mind driving into London to party. Well, not anymore, but if I did, that's what I would do. Reason number 5, I would say the lack of food choices. Now, I think I mentioned this again in one of my other videos I did around Kent, but the food choices on Deliveroo, Uber Eats are so bad. I mean, you get your like Nando's, your Subway, your KFC, and maybe like local little shops and like black kitchens, but you don't have like Caribbean food, proper African food. You know, maybe I fancy a calamari, there's no calamari. Some crispy prawns, there's no crispy prawns. Maybe some mac and cheese, there's no mac and cheese. Like all the stuff that you get if you're in London, you don't get that in Kent. It's so limited when it comes to food choices, which I think is a great opportunity. And I think if you are someone who is in that business, then definitely setting up something in Kent, you will do really well, because we just don't have it here. We just don't have it here. When we order food, me and my husband, we order like Turkish food. Sometimes we have like KFC, but that's about it really, and that's so boring. I mean, you may like Nando's, you may like Subway and KFC, but I've just been accustomed to having a wide range or wide selection of different foods you can order online. Reason number 6 is crime. So there's crime everywhere, I know, and in Kent I feel like the crime is relatively low, but there is particular types of crime that you'll find more popular in certain areas than others. And one crime in Kent that is really popular is car robbery. A lot of cars get stolen around here. My car actually got stolen, which was so sad, so emotional. I felt like crying. I think I did a video on this. In my earlier days, I did a video going back and watch, but my car got stolen, and it happens all the time. No matter if your car is old or new, your car just gets jacked. It just gets stolen, and I have no idea why or how. So you just have to be very vigilant. Maybe like install a camera system. A lot of people, houses and flats that I live next to, all have camera systems. They all have maybe what is it called, like the wheel lock, so it'll be really hard for someone to break in and steal their car. But I think car robbery happens everywhere, but like I mentioned before, certain crimes happen in certain areas more. Reason number 7 is cost of living. I bet everyone's tired of that. Cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. That's all we hear these days. Everything is so expensive. I remember renting a room in Kent used to be £450, £500 a month, £550, £600. Now you're looking at £700, £800, £900 a month to rent out not a house but a room in someone's house or in someone's flat. Things have gone up, which means that Kent isn't as cheap as people think it is or thought it was. We are coming for you, London. Kent is very expensive, and the average house price in Kent, I would say now, is £450 to £500,000 for a nice house. So if you're thinking of moving to Kent because you think it's cheaper, you thought wrong, okay? Reason number 8 is limited educational opportunities. So what I mean by this is, yes, Kent has amazing schools. They've got some of the best grammar schools in the UK. They don't have enough of specialist schools, so your SEN schools, your special provisions. I never hear of it. Yes, you have the odd special school here and there, but I feel like they're very limited in comparison to schools in London. I know so many SEN schools in London, so many SEN provisions in London, which I don't hear about in Kent. So if you're looking for a particular type of education for your children or for your child, you may not get that in Kent. But they do have good schools. Do have good grammar schools, do have good secondary schools and primary schools, and they have some really nice nurseries as well. Reason number 9 is loneliness. Whenever you move, not just Kent, anywhere, I think the initial couple of months and stuff, you can feel lonely, especially if you're moving away from family, you're moving away from what you knew, and you're moving away from comfort. You may feel lonely because it's a new home, a new area, a new surroundings, and with that sometimes you may feel quite isolated, you may feel lonely. But once you've built a community and you are familiar with your surroundings, that loneliness hopefully should go away, just disappear. We don't want any loneliness around here, okay? It's just a phase and it will disappear, and I think it's really important to focus on the positive, and that you even have the opportunity to move and start off fresh, and start something new, which is really exciting as well as scary. Reason number 10 is limited healthcare options. Kent do have hospitals, but we don't have the best doctors, the best specialists. That's all in London. So you've got the Guy's Hospital, the St Thomas's. Those hospitals have some of the best world-renowned doctors for certain things, and Kent isn't known for that or has that. So a lot of the times, if you have a very serious health condition, you're usually referred to a hospital in London because that's where all the specialist doctors are, which is a shame. I've been to one hospital in Kent and I absolutely loved it. They were so lovely, they were so nice, they made me and my family feel really welcomed. I've been to hospitals in London and I've hated it. Where I gave birth, I hated where I gave birth. If I could go back, I would give birth at the hospital I went to in Kent. A few of my friends actually gave birth there and they loved it. So that is the end of my video. I hope that this video was helpful, it was informative, it was short and sweet, just how we like it. If you want any other videos around Kent, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to do them. I promise to be a bit more consistent. It's been really hard with my little baby. I got a lot of questions on my other videos about how's Canterbury, how's Luton. I don't know, I don't live there. These videos around Kent are my true life experiences. It's what I can see, it's what I can hear, it's what I've analysed, and I've almost lived in Kent for 10 years. So I do know what I'm talking about, just a little. Stick around, I'll be more consistent, I promise, and hopefully I see you guys in my next video. Bye.